Hey, this is Gavin Palmer with Hero Looking for Group, and one group I tried to connect with was a group of people interested in the convective heat engine. I created a website where I just pulled content from documents into a website so that the website can be shared, and I will share it in the description below. And so I did a Friday morning meeting with Jason Delport, who um, I've been speaking to for a long time on Friday mornings. And he recently went to some small Bible study groups where he presented how there are many patterns in the Bible, throughout the Bible, that point at the convective heat engine. And when he says Bible, he's pointing at the Old Testament and the New Testament. And he had some success. He mentioned a lady on the front row, and by the time he got to the seventh or eighth pattern, he could see that her facial expression went from like skepticism to considering that this might actually be true. Some of these people, they're like, once they see that this could be true, they're like, well, what's next? Because this is a pretty big deal if it is true. So this is so the convective heat engine has a acronym CHE, which also corresponds with another acronym, City of Heaven on Earth, where we attempt to create the kingdom of heaven on earth. And so that's the aim. The aim is something like aiming for Eden. And so Jason is working on being able to share a story about the Bible which maps onto the convective heat engine as being part of the book of Revelations. Is it Revelations or Revelation? But so that's what he's working on. I think I will be creating maybe another website and another Discord server and supporting that effort in parallel. And I hope it works, right? I hope that there will be many people that will want to create Eden on earth, want to create a city of heaven on earth, and will become interested in doing so because I guess in my experience there hasn't been a lot of that, and and if there has been, the people who do it aren't necessarily serious. So that's what I bring to the table, is a seriousness about creating a peaceful city, a city of heaven on earth, and just trying to be helpful in doing so. And I hope that Jason is right, but I am a skeptical person. And the good thing is, I think because I've been aiming at something like peace on earth, Eden on earth. I have I have been interested in Jason Delport's project, and the best thing that can come out of this, in my mind, practically speaking, is that there will be many people who will have more hope and have a better story, and will start to aim at something like peace on earth. That's what I hope happens. If it works, we will be in for a lot of work. Jason believes in the Bible, but he has his own interpretations, and he sees things that other people don't see within the Bible. But one of the things that was discussed this morning was the idea of the demonic forces being locked away for 1,000 years. And my response was that I worry that it's a psyop. And so my recommendation, you could call it Worldview 42 if you want to, but my recommendation is that we live as if we are vulnerable to being possessed by unholy spirits and creating hell on earth. And we live as if we are responsible for whether or not heaven is actually created. So if you imagine a loved one that you may hope to meet once you die, I would encourage a belief that we are responsible for helping to create the heaven in which we end up meeting the loved ones that we want to meet after we die. That's the way to live, the proper way to live. Both of those things. We have the potential to create hell such that we don't get to meet our loved ones, and we have the potential to create heaven such that we do get to meet our loved ones. And it's our responsibility. That's the personal responsibility that I am advocating for. That's the level of personal responsibility I am advocating for. So that is pragmatic, and that maps onto what Jason's story is. My main concern is this idea that the demonic forces will be locked away for 1,000 years. At this point, that's my biggest concern. And my response to Jason is that I will notice if the demonic forces are locked away for 1,000 years. I will be able to notice it. And I would like to teach people how to notice demonic forces so that, if I die, then, that knowledge will carry on, right? That it will be obvious to people who have studied the spiritual forces. It will be, for those who have studied the spiritual forces, it will be obvious that whether or not the demonic forces have all of a sudden disappeared and have been locked away. And I think there are people, and I hope there will always be people, who will be able to notice. And so the key for identifying people who can report about whether or not this has happened is to notice people who are trying to be honest, who are trying not to lie, and who care about producing good fruit. That's the key. And that's it. I hope y'all have a good one.